What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to the fearless woman, President and CEO, Libby Canella, along with the current and reigning, defending, respective 115 and 135-pound fearless woman MMA champions, Jaws Fuller and Diana Debo Mendoza. Ladies, how are you guys?
Feeling like a champ.
Hashtag champ shit only. This is
Only.
this is pretty auspicious because, like, literally, I mean, I'm probably the one that doesn't have any kind of like cool, I guess, titles and logos. You guys are champions, and you are a VIP kind of CEO of sorts. So I feel oddly prepared and oddly dressed.
Titles are not always everything. So titles are not important. So in my
I
book,
like
so it's all about your
I like
legacy, and you're the only one doing this. So it's like everybody else bow down to you.
Damn. Okay, somebody's been watching the Triple H documentary and bow down to the game. All right,
Oh, entering the game. It's how you
it's
play
not
it,
about
right? It's not about the game.
exactly. And Keegan Davidson, go ahead. Champ shit only. I like it 100%. And thank you, Keegan, for joining us here at According to Woods. But oh, my goodness, ladies, we are a month removed from, Fearless Six, right? A unprecedented event going down in Mexico City, right? It's something that you, Libby, fought so hard to do, regardless of all of the craziness that was going on in 2020. You were adamant that this show goes on and where it did. So, your month remove, obviously, there are things that could be tweaked and everything, but were you happy with the overall results?
I was happy that everyone fought like their hardest and their best. Um, I'm a perfectionist, but there is no perfection in the world. So I I live and learn, and so I'm prepared for like in Fearless we have this thing like either you're gonna experience good shit, you're gonna experience bad shit, but there's always shit that's gonna happen. And Diana was there when Alan was basically explaining there's always shit that's gonna happen, and so either you learn how to control how you act or control how you play. Um, but that's just what happens, like everybody knows that things go down in every promotion. And I mean, it's just either how the way you react and how you deal with things. Either if you let it conquer you or defeat you, then it's the fight business. Get the hell out. So um my next execution, I'm prepared for every fucking shit. So I mean, I wasn't expecting the things that happened, and like rain, everything. It was just crazy. But yeah.
But sometimes for a rainbow to appear, not sometimes, but all the times, right? For a rainbow to appear, you have to have kind of like a shitty weather, right? Or I believe in that kind of the euphemism of the lotus flower, right? Where it is the only kind of organism that as it gives life, it also dies. And the more beautiful the lotus flower, it is in the murkiest of shit of the pond, right? And
Yeah.
with that all being said, you kind of need that, right? To kind of make you appreciate the good stuff that happened. And again, by the ladies to your right are proof positive of that. Regardless of what
Yes.
happened, there were shining stars coming out of Fearless Six, and that you can't. That's incredible.
Yeah, and you see, like, if you know the behind story, it's just like everybody, like they overcame everything. They were actually true fearless. I feel like they were the ones to become champion and represent the company, because that's what you want. You want endurance. You want when adversity stares at you in the face, is either you say I'm gonna die or I'm gonna fight till I win. And this is what they did, and I'm very proud of them. very proud of them. It was hard for me to watch each match just because I love everyone, but man, it was a war. It was a war.
On this, man, I'm
Now,
sorry. I have to add
Joss,
in.
you had.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No,
Sorry.
I was saying like how you had probably the most to kind of prepare for this. Like you knew about your title fight more so than I don't want to say anyone else on the card, but you were definitely versed and had a full training camp. So the fact that you secured, fearless championship gold like that's got to be really cool.
Word. I did word to that. I did find out really, really early on about this card and who my opponent would be. It's funny the way it happened. It's like, hey, would you be willing to fight on this card in September? And this was like mid-July. And I was like, oh yeah, I told you guys, like anytime Fearless is gonna come back up, like definitely sign me up. And like I've been itching to everyone's been itching to fight. So yeah, sign me up. And then before I know it, I'm getting like a bunch of likes on my Facebook, and I'm like, I haven't posted anything in like a month. And there it was, the post, the picture of like me versus Flicka. And I see all these comments of like, this is the fight to make. Like, oh, wasn't I telling you the other day that these two would put a good fight? And I was like, what the hell? All I said is I would fight. Like, I didn't even know that there was somebody to fight. So that was cool. Anyway, yeah, I did have notice back in July. And with the circumstances, it was really hard to get the championship training. The school, the martial arts school that I was training at was down to like just me and my coach training in the mornings, and occasionally we would have a third person come in and lift weights with us or practice some Filipino, stick and knife fighting. But it was hard to get it like MMA focused with nobody comparable to me to train with for like a month. So if the fight was August 25th, I didn't start getting heavy MMA focused training until like a month out. So like August 15th, August 20th. I was staying in shape. I was watching my diet. I was lifting weights. But actual, putting together a fight plan and drilling that fight plan was really difficult to do with all the circumstances. Add to that I was moving from El Centro back to San Diego, and I moved myself. Boxed everything, put everything in my car by myself with a little bit of help here and there. And what I'm coming to is that it seems like every time you rise to something like noble and elevated in your life, so many challenges to match that goal present themselves. Financial, relationship related, family related. Sometimes people pass away on your way to achieve that goal. And no matter what you believe, you can't deny that like it just can't be coincidence. Like, but it would also be kind of naive or overly superstitious to say that there's like a higher power that wants to like challenge you and torment you to see how strong you actually are. If you believe in a God or a conscious higher power, they don't have this morbid intent to like torment you. But definitely, like, what I'm getting at is that every kind of thing presented itself to like get me off of this path of going to Mexico in the first place and being focused and trained enough to secure that belt once I got there. But, I just put my head down and got to work and just handled everything as it came and just tried not to let it penetrate too deeply into my psyche or just take things as they came. Just like when you're fighting, you take things as they come and you adjust if it's not working and you keep going if it is. Life is a battle, and you have, as a martial artist, you have to approach it that way. Otherwise, the changes and chances of the world will eat you alive. You'll eat yourself alive. So yeah, it was it was hard to put my training camp together, but with a month out of the fight, I was able to reach out to old coaches, new coaches, current coaches, sell some plasma, sell some recycling, make some food and sell that, and just kind of gig my way to paying for a decent enough championship training camp, get to Cancun and run in that humidity and cut some heavy weight and just champ shit only. You make it happen. You make the impossible possible. So when Libby was talking about us women being fearless, that's something that I've been thinking about lately a lot. Like, what defines fearless? Sometimes people think fearless means absence of fear, and it's totally not that. You recognize what the fear is, where it's coming from, and you get to the bottom of it to understand it. And so a fighter is fearless because of that. Any fighter, anyone that gets into a cage, a ring, a mat to combat somebody else is afraid and faces and defeats that demon before they can face and defeat their enemy, I believe.
No, I think that's absolutely true. And I couldn't have put it myself. And it's a very metaphysical and, a very deep kind of connection that you have not only with the traditional martial arts, but also your journey to your championship win, which I have to ask, Debo, right? So you had kind of like the best and worst case scenario kind of happen to you. That worst case scenario, you kind of get it short notice, like if not a week out, a week or two out. But then best case scenario, it's a title fight, yeah, and it's in Mexico. Like that had to be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, the experience was really cool. It was a once in a lifetime thing. I had never fought outside of Cali, so that was a really cool opportunity. And then on top of that, it was the pressures of like Jaws was saying, everyone was itching to fight, and it was that pressure of like, well, dang man, like this is like an opportunity to fight, so let's just do it. Let's just go. And then too, I was already training and stuff, so and I was already in line with this, so it felt right, and I just went for it. It was a good time. Libby, thank you. That was amazing, and like just everything, and Jaws, it was a pleasure meeting you. Like coming across Jaws' energy is different. Like I love being around her. Like we went and grabbed tacos after the fight and just vibed and had freaking time of our lives, man. And like
I have a video I gotta send you, Devo.
Yeah,
like the spoils of war. Oh,
it was great. And but yeah, this I really just the relationships, meeting new people, going out there, going to different states and just fighting, and like that's really attractive to me, and like but yeah, it was good.
No, I think that's tremendous. Now, Dave Dankin chiming in and says, we are when are we doing the next show? Let's do this. I got some camo belts to put up, and Dave Dankin, one camo belt that won't be put up is this one.
Right.
Because this one here is the very first 135-pound women's camo title won by the Brooke Bully Mayo at Cyborg Show in Long Beach.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's legendary. Yeah.
So you beat up Brooke? Brooke to get the belt?
No, actually, it's subscribed, and here we go. Because Adam, I appreciate everything you do for the combat sports community. You are a real one. Yes, it literally says that. Somebody actually said something nice about me. So there you go. But no, so that's one thing that won't be up for grabs. But I think Dave Dankin has a similar design, but he wants to do a reservation show. He will make a big ass rainbow.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I guess.
I think he's alluding to that whole idea of like a shitty storm for a beautiful rainbow, He's probably going to end the year with some victory over all the crisis.
Okay.
I'm going to get your pot of gold.
I got you,
David,
Dave. I
thank you so
All
much.
right, because I was gonna. Well, Dave Dankin just got on Instagram, so follow him at
Yes.
Dave. Yeah, so
David
there's no
Dankin.
photos.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no photos,
So,
no discernible things to look at, but that is Dave Dankin, and he said he's holding these camo state titles for the next Fearless show. And
Harvey and I
Eugene,
have a lot of oh, Eugene Fuller, what's up? Harvey and I, we have a
Hey,
lot of
my
work
brother.
to do. Yes.
it says bravery is born from fear and cowardice. So
That is
absolutely,
clearly my brother. We talk the same.
Yes. Yeah.
there you go. Shout out to Eugene, and we'll make that the Adam Woods belt. Holy shit!
Yeah.
As long as I'm not,
Caption only.
yeah, as long as I'm not making the fucking belt, because this we're not on a plantation, and then B, I can't do any kind of macrame or anything, so fucking A. But I stick to this. So I mean, if you want me to talk over the belt, fuck yeah, I'm your guy, 100%, 100%.
You're gonna be presenting them all. So you and Harvey. So let's do this.
Okay, the great Harvey Castanello, I love that
And
guy, and
Oh yeah, Harvey's my
Harvey
guy.
I'll be doing a reservation, so
Harvey,
Oh.
love you, man. Shout out to Harvey Cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to
Harvey.
damn right.
Harvey's been my right hand man since since I met him. So I mean, he supported, like Mariana, from Andrea to Entram. So I'm very happy with how he's always supported Fearless, and we have a lot of discussions to do for those belts because he's looking at this person that she's from LA, but she needs to come out of retirement, or if she's still in the game, we're looking at you, girl. That's for the 135. Yeah.
Are we talking
Ramos.
about?
I'm talking about Ramos.
Wow. Oh
The
shit!
fight that never happened. So
Oh
that
shit!
is that she fought Tina Pettigrew.
Yep.
But
I was there.
it was just
was
I was there too. It was a great fight. So that's
That was
something that
good.
we kind of want to make happen again. Not with Tina, but with someone else that Harvey has in mind. So
Yeah, man. Tina's like pro.
yeah,
So
pro.
Mariana,
Yeah.
come back. Mariana, come back.
Mariana became pro, so she can't fight amateur, but
Oh, I got it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then with some clarification, saying it's daddy. So there.
Oh, it's my dad. I thought it was my brother. Hi, Faja.
Yeah. So I guess we got to keep it clean. And then said Adam, you get the honors to put the belt on the winners. It's that's like swimmers, right?
Winners.
Winners.
Winners. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he means win.
All right. Harvey
Yeah.
says, "I got your back, Libby." And that's a really cool dude to have
That-
someone's
How?
back. I always love Harvey. Thank you for joining on. And he's got Harvey's back, and Libby, and fuck, man. There's a whole lot of backs. I feel
There's
like
a
I'm
lot of
fucking
back
800
habits.
pounds. They're not a backs of people fucking. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's what you guys
that's
are on
good.
that end of things. We just focus on the back taking.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 100%. And Harvey's saying that I always knew Debo was a high level in the 115 pound division because a lot of females were ducking her. And
Yeah.
that is true. And then Jaws, I mean, we go back to like Combate at the Galen Center.
Last year.
That was like almost 3 years ago at this point.
That was almost 2, man.
Yeah, or in 2020 years, that was fucking a decade ago.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's all cool, and there it says "Hola mi amor," so there you go, and my pronunciation is
Aw.
okay. And then Jaws trains with the Predator now, and look out. So I guess there's some big things happening. And I guess, I mean, do you want to talk about that, Jaws?
Talk.
yeah, I I could get a little bit into that totally. So as I mentioned, when I was looking at moving back to San Diego from El Centro, that was actually a really sudden thing. I was having a little bit of issues over there in El Centro, and I just wanted to spend a little more time with family. So on the weekends, when I'd be with family, I needed a place to train, and I knew Tina was coaching BJJ and really wanted more women to come in. And I was like, hey, I'd be happy to, I'd be happy to share my body, share my energy if you need more women to train with, and if you'll have me, because I definitely need to work out when I'm here. And that's just how our relationship developed, hers and mine. So once I was looking into officially moving back, I just kind of talked to her and is like, hey, I really want to keep competing. Like, would I be able to train out of here and fight out of here? And they just like open arms took me in like family. Coach Tina, her boyfriend Alberto Trujillo, who's gonna get that strap this Friday, watch it on UFC Fight Pass, and Coach Juan Ramos, owner of Bonita Martial Arts. So I just feel like my martial arts family is just like expanding. The more I dedicate myself and the more I lend myself to whatever school I'm studying at, like my family expands. So now I just feel like I have these 3-4 martial arts families that have become like one huge tribe. But yeah, so training with Tina Pettigrew has been great. When her and Alberto are really focusing on their camps, they we don't get to see much of them. But what Tina does is that she doesn't just dedicate her life and her energy to this physical martial arts training. Like she very much gets like networks of women together. So you'll see pictures of women from like 5 different gyms, pros and amateurs, or amateurs moving up to pro, like from Alliance, from 10th Planet, from Victory and the Arena. Like you'll see all these women in the same picture from 5 different gyms. And like Tina and a couple other women just kind of reached out to other ones of us, and now we're all training together. So, or I should say sparring together. Although some do visit each other's gyms to train. So that's another thing that I feel came from me showing up at Fearless, or Fearless showing up for us fighters and us giving our all in that ring. A lot of doors and opportunities are opening up. You could see some respect being given now. Like, and yeah, that feels good. All of that feels good. So shout out to Tina Pettigrew. I haven't told her this, but I'll tell all of y'all that I kind of see her as like a mentor even. So definitely someone whose opinion and insight I value in this area of my life.
That's amazing. And again, somebody that has, I mean, not just cut her teeth, but started her dominance in the California amateur scene before her ascension to pro. I mean, you couldn't get a better mentor, But I mean, I say that, and then we've got Debo, who had in her corner for Fearless Ivan Tavio, which, I mean, talk about a legend in women's, not just mixed martial arts, but combat sports, period, a former American gladiator. Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah.
And you had her in your corner, and as someone that serves as a mentor to you. You literally had a gladiator in your corner. So that's so dope. How is it training there at Subfighter and with Adam Lynn and the rest of the crew there?
Oh, it's been good. It's been good. So yeah, with Aaron, like, another one of my mentors, just life mentor, Adam Lynn, life mentor for me. And it's been good, since I've been back. I took a week off and then went back to training, and yeah, just been working there. That's where I do all my clients and stuff. That's where I pad up all my clients, and just training there full time. And I'll pop in the Raw Talent and Classic for some sparring and stuff like that, and switch it up every now and then. But for the most part, I do all my work at Subfighter and with all the guys there. And and all the ladies there too as well. But it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Aaron's badass.
And
Let
that's
me
pretty
tell you
cool
that it
that
was really hard to
they
not like
kind of,
drool over in Mexico.
yeah. Uh-oh, there's a story or two that I feel that are going to be told. But before I get to that, Libby, what in terms of putting this all together and making sure that it was an all-female card. Obviously, you had 5 incarnations of Fearless prior to this, right? But going into Fearless 6 and having it in Mexico City, do you think it helped or hindered the presentation of it? And then one of the things that I loved is the fact that you put it live and free on your YouTube and Facebook respective pages, which made it accessible to everyone. Which I was just thinking, like, man, if you're a little girl just browsing around YouTube and like, oh, you might be taking Taekwondo, you might be taking Jiu-Jitsu and whatever, and it's like a Friday night, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna look up some Invicta or whatever, and then you see on your notification there's live female MMA amateurs coming from Mexico City, and you're like, I'm in. Like I'm in, and essentially, basically becoming the. There's probably a little girl that watched Fearless a month ago and were like, "That's where I want to fight." So, I mean, is that cool? And then having it in Mexico City, did it present different challenges, especially with COVID happening?
Everything was a challenge, but to answer your first question, I have a ton of girls and their parents are constantly messaging me, about bullying, about they have to leave different gyms, or like what do I need to do to have my daughter learn self-defense, where could I go? So everyone's watching every female, so it's very important that it's like what they're doing is not just a fight, they're touching girls' lives. And again, those little girls will be looking up to so many of the athletes that they see. So your audience is going to be watching you and being touched by you. It's kind of like when you're an evangelist, and you're not going to get all of the audience, you're just going to get the audience that's meant for you. With Fearless being live streamed, everyone was actually like saying, hey, let's charge like whatever, but it's most important to just give something like entertainment to not entertainment, but to show people that love MMA and that support these women something free, because like with COVID, I mean, even $20, like it's a lot, and I appreciate everybody that had supported us and helped us with like with sponsorships. And but your other question about Fearless and COVID in Mexico City, Mexico's very into fighting, and they didn't want to wait till like California. It's kind of like Florida. They're a fight country, so it's very important for them. And a lot of the girls were feeling the same way, like, what am I training for? Like, what am I doing at the gym? And they felt kind of lost and stuff. And so I didn't want that frustration or them to feel like to get distracted, because a lot of people are focusing on like, what am I going to do with COVID? Like, again, continue training, and I'm going to give somebody an opportunity or like a platform for them to fight in. Again, I get ridiculed by a lot of people that are business minded, but I'm business minded also. But when it comes to supporting women, I will work 1,000 hours just to help throw a show. And that's something that I want them to know, that you're not fighting for just nothing, because MMA weight training is like iron therapy. Most people need it. With COVID, the whole gyms were closed. So I didn't want people that were telling me, hey, you want to throw a show, and me just be like, no, it's okay. I just wanted to just be like, let's throw a show. you know, and it's for them not to get rusty, not to get distracted or depressed or anything that they were feeling, because I was kind of feeling a little bit, because I was like, man, I can't throw my show, you know. COVID, we had to cancel our show in March in Mexico, and it was just like devastating, because it wasn't about losing money. It was about like, man, now like these fights will never happen. So when we were just like, let's just get everything moving, and but everything's always going to be a struggle uphill, you know. But even when you get up to the top of the mountain, you're going to have to go down into another mountain, you know. So it's all about fighting, you know. It's all about fighting for what you believe in. That's what I mean. That's my philosophy, you know. Regardless of what people say, you just have to fight for what you believe in.
But 100%. I couldn't agree with you more, you know. And David Dankin presents a interesting idea. Oh, it seems like we lost Jaws, but he presents an interesting idea that USFL girls need to be groomed through Fearless, which that's a pretty cool scenario. And I mean, right to mind, there's a gal named Jaden Patches Murillo, who is literally like, yeah, she's literally like changing the game. So that would be cool if she kind of gets brought up through the Fearless kind of system.
Jaden's gonna be our well, she's actually our fearless girl. So she is like that girl that stands in front of the bull and is not afraid of, you know, anything that stands in front of her. So she is she and a lot of girls, you know, so it's not just her. I don't want people to think that I'm favoring her, like she's like my little favorite. You know, there is no favorite. We all love everyone and we want to support them, but she's the one that most girls look up to, and we want to continue to encourage her, regardless if, you know, if she can't, you know, make it into a tournament. You know, she has us as a sponsor. So and any other girl, if anyone's saying like, hey, I want to like compete in jiu-jitsu and like worlds, you know, but I can't make it, I'm like, just hit me up. You know, we want to sponsor people. So it's not like you know, we're just trying to just support every woman, give them a platform.
No, 100%, and that you know, there's a litany of them. There's Jaden. There's Alexa the Lioness, who's coming up through the system as well, and it's all types of cool, you know. And then Dave Dankin says COVID sucks, and I want to do something fun, but each of you ladies, obviously he put all types of symbols there, but Diana, we'll start with you. What does the symbols mean if you're David Dankin? Give me a one-word answer, each of you.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah, fill in the blank.
It'll be FML, fuck my life.
Okay.
I think that one.
Fuck my life. Okay, we'll go with you, Jaws. What is David Dankin saying here?
COVID sucks, fudge pops.
Fudge pops. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. One PC with that. And then the major domo of Fearless Women MMA, Libby Canelo. What is David
Well, you already
Dankin
know
saying?
how. You already know I already know David Dankin. I already know what he's saying. He says COVID sucks.
Make it fun. The D word. Make it fun.
Cuss in Spanish.
COVID sucks bananas.
Okay.
COVID sucks pulpa de chamoy.
I'm gonna go with that. COVID sucks dogs for quarters. Which, yes. There you go. There you go. You guys are being PC, so fuck it. You know what? I'm not PC. How about that? And David Dankin says this is why California needs. We need to go to the California reservations so I could run the whole thing. And David Dankin, you don't do this. You don't do this fucking thing. You're not Cecil Peoples. You know, you're not doing that fucking thing, which Cecil Peoples will probably sue me for doing whatever the fuck that is. But you know this. Cecil People runs the organizations. That's why when, you know, King of the Cage has a fucked up show, chances are it's Cecil Peoples. But I'm just saying. Anyway, and Libby is right. We have to actively keep on going. 100%. And Riverside Submission it has a gym full of girls. Which,
Nice.
there we go.
Nice.
Let's take a
I'm
road
excited.
trip, Tivo.
Let's do
So
it.
what?
I'm down. I'm down.
All right,
There-
Dankin. We have a lot to talk about, so let's do this. Let's do this reservation. I've been getting the itch, to actually, step foot in one. So I mean, in Viejas, or you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
Libby, the
behind
way your
scenes.
eyes got when you said that, I could like see all this like fire and calculations. That was intense. I'm glad that was on
That's
film.
what
Yeah, exactly.
I've
There we
been
go.
itched.
that's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
but
So we'll do it.
no, 100%. Now, obviously, COVID has affected everyone differently, but I mean, a month removed from the show, have you guys felt like I mean, what has been the reception that you've gotten from whether it be your gyms, your families, a month removed, because you're kind of in it, the highs and lows, and people are going to say things pro and con to it. But I mean, the response that you've gotten so far, um, what has it been for you each individually? And we'll start off with Diana.
It's been positive. It's been really good. They're like, oh, when's the next one? And what are you doing now? And yeah, and it's it's all been really good, positive feedback from everybody. And yeah, I'm looking for the next one, but for now, just training and getting better. It's the goal. So yeah.
And then we'll go with Johns.
I think the first thing I should mention, which has already been mentioned, is how amazing the whole experience was to begin with. So meeting Diana and just like establishing a friendship there. Just to see how Fearless kind of helps us form this network of strong-minded fighters, female fighters. Like it's just been so great. So just the whole experience, to say the very least, an understatement. It's been great. It's been wonderful. My reception back home, man. For starters, Cancun, like I mentioned, I was in Cancun with one of the other title fighters, Janetti Delgado. She fought Montse Rendon for a 145 title. Their training in Cancun is no joke. For starters, the humidity down there. So flying back to Cancun from Mexico City, that was this whole reception from Janetti and her coach and husband Rodrigo's family, the RRBJJ family there. We all took pictures together with the belt. Like we all kind of sharpened up my game plan over there. And so this belt is our belt. And it was just really awesome riding in the airport with it. Like, I was gonna save room in my luggage for it, and I was like, no, hell no. Like, I'm gonna ride around with that being. So, I was like, just traveling with Bay. I feel like we don't have enough media representation of what it's like to ride around an airport with this big old, piece of work. So let me just give y'all a little cut in. So coming home to my family and being able to show it to them and having them be so proud of me. I'm blessed to say that I've accomplished a lot of things in my life, and I've fallen on my face working to accomplish some things that to this day I haven't gotten to. So I'm really proud and blessed to say that I've given my family a lot of things to celebrate with me. But out of all my diplomas, out of all my competitions, out of all my singing and music and whatever other things that I've gotten into my life, getting this belt was the highest point of my life. And anyone who didn't get a chance to tune in or see the fight or like follow comment threads, like I saw that moment of glory was relished by people who weren't in the building. Like it was an experience. So it was really awesome to come home and have something physical to hand to my mom and be like, you helped me get here. Thank you. You know? So at the gym to walk in and be called champ, like, that's awesome, dude. Like, I had a losing record for a little while, but, you know, just kept working and sharpen technique and sharpen my fitness and, you know, cut down some fat and whatever you need to do when you're actually an athlete, and won a couple fights, and here we are. So it's awesome to be called champ and have it not feel surreal. I think that's been the coolest part of this whole experience, that it's not surreal. It feels real. I am where I'm supposed to be. That's probably the best thing about all this. And so to be called champ and believe it, because it's something that I was calling myself on the way to the belt. You know, your inner voice has to be the voice of, like, how you talk to the person you love the most. If there's a friend that you love that's maybe not doing their best, like, you don't yell at them and insult them, you know, you talk to them with love and encouragement. And so I learned to develop that inner voice, and I had to call myself a name that I would call my friend if they were on that path. So I'd be like, come on, champ, let's go. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call myself champ. So, you know, it doesn't feel that new to hear it, but it feels so great to hear a voice other than mine call me champ.
That makes sense.
I kind of tired of patting my own back there.
That's very Horowitz shit. No, I mean, I've called myself a skinny bitch for a while, and maybe I should put some work to actually get there.
Adam, I love you. I had a friend here getting a free show. Adam, you are that bitch.
Hey, there you go. There you go. I appreciate it. I mean, coming from champions such as you three, no, I definitely appreciate it. Now, and now, Libby, in terms of the reception, I mean, obviously being the, you know, I mean, the steam that holds this engine together, the stupidness of the ship. What has been the reception that you've received in a month, you know, removed from Fearless 6?
Well, the support from, you know, my matchmaker Harvey. He's not just a matchmaker; he's like my friend. He's my mentor. David Dankin and all my camo family. They've been supporting me so much, and you know, they always tell me, it's like, don't listen to the haters. There's always going to be people that are going to say, like, well, you guys are bad because you guys did this. I'm like, well, you know what, it happens to the UFC, you know. And David, you know, was always like, you know, like, I was kind of like, oh man, I'm like, I kind of not that perfectionist that I want to be, but he was just like, everything happens, dude. Everything happens, dude. He goes, people just don't know. He goes, but you know, that's what I got. You know, I got like people like helping me and supporting me and telling me, you know, like, don't be so hard on yourself just because, you know, I like things, you know, to start at a certain time, but you know, sometimes it doesn't. And I mean, 2020 has been interesting, but you know what, I'm the type of person that I love what the world gives me. You know, if it gives me shit, you know, then I'm not over here crying over it. You know, you have to love your fate, and that's a part of the journey, and that's always where I've, you know, what I believe in. And again, it's from a stoic approach where, you know, it's like you control how you play, and you just love amore fati, you know, the love of faith. So I'm not gonna ever dwell on like COVID and this and that. You find solutions, and that's what we're all about. And I mean, when I'm working in camo, and you know, a fighter doesn't have their, you know, their mouthpiece, and instead of blaming people, you know, how come you didn't check this? You know, you just been like, all right, find the mouthpiece, put it in, go back, you know, go in the cage. And that's what we do. It's just, we're problem solvers, and we just can't freak out or just like, you know, just hate the world just because things aren't going your way. You find a way, you know, whatever stands in the way becomes the way. That's what it is, you know. So if you see something that's sticking in the way that just popped out of nowhere, well, okay, motherfucker, I'm going to destroy you because you're standing in my way. It's either move out of my way or come with me, you know.
Bro, I've been saying that. Get with it or get lost.
Yeah, right. And those people that don't get with it, they got to get lost because they're just wasting your time, you know. They don't see the vision, you know. And obviously, Diana and Joselin, they have come and had so much adversity come against them, or diversity, sorry. And it's just like, I've seen what they've gone through, from like going to another country to like, figuring things out. But, they never gave me a headache. So I mean, that's what championship shit is. It's like you just don't need to be babysat. And so um, again, like everybody said, everyone was scared to fight Diana. I don't know. I don't want to mention names because whatever. But yeah, like I've been knowing about her for many, many years. And so this is why when Harvey said, "Hey, Diana wants to fight. She's looking for a fight." I was like, this is a blessing, because Andrea Ceballos wanted to fight, and I couldn't find her an opponent, and nobody wanted to fight her either. Both athletes are just so amazing, and I mean, if you were there, you would just hear like punch after punch. It was just like you would just hear that. It was just like echoes. And there's the moments when I was sitting in my seat, I was like, man, I can't. I was just like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. And I just had to walk around because I was getting so nervous, because I love them both. I'm big fans of them. And it was just like in my stomach. I was like, I don't even want to know. I want them to both win, but only one gets to win. So it was 2020. It's been interesting, so.
No, it absolutely has been. It has been. But again, you guys have all found a way to persevere regardless of circumstance, and all different unique situations going into Fearless Six. But I think it was a culmination of not just you three, but also everybody that was on the card, regardless of what the particular decision of the matchup happened. But everybody went through a certain set of circumstances that could have prevented their inclusion of Fearless Six to be in a precarious position. Totally right, but you guys all showed up in different capacities and put on a show that, again, right now it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, so it's a worldwide. You guys can show worldwide what you guys are capable on your best and worst days, which I think is absolutely incredible. And Harvey's saying, Diana, who got you the title fight?
The what?
The title fight. Who set it up? Who put the wheels in motion for the title fight?
Harvey did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Harvey. I reached out to Harvey. Wait, and then you talking about the Fearless one?
Yeah.
Harvey did, and then Harvey connected me with Libby, and then it was said and done there. Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
And I mean, could there have been a better kind of scenario for you to walk in? I mean, not just. I mean, obviously, California has the who's in terms of MMA promotions, right? And especially female competition that compete in such promotions, right? But you got put in with somebody that, I mean, has her heart totally directed towards the women of who compete in the sport, and then an international event like that's going to be broadcast worldwide, and I mean has thousands of views as we stand here on a month removed from it. That's got to be a cool situation. It's not just any fight, it's a championship fight, international and broadcast worldwide. That's got to be a cool scenario to be in.
It really is. And like we talked like the first time, like it's really cool to be a part of Fearless and Libby show, and just and connecting with Harvey and connecting with everybody again, and like I was out for 2.5 years, and like I just wanted to get that itch out, and like win or lose, I just wanted to show up, put the work in, and then I walked out with the belt, which was freaking like really, really cool experience. And yeah, and then on top of that, it's just like cherry on the top, like I fought out of we're in Mexico, and like that was really cool. And yeah, it's awesome.
No, 100%. Now Harvey's saying Jaws, you need a fight on 11-16 to keep that streak going. And James Beard needs to be the referee. And
That's
Dave Dankin is like, 11-16 where, Harvey? So I also want to know what the hell is going on. What is Harvey talking about?
It's just
Okay,
really
can we talk
interesting.
about this? If you can, don't plead the fifth for sure. But I mean, if you can, what's
No, I
going
totally
down?
can. There's no politics involved in this. This is just strange parallels or coincidences, if you believe in those. Um, my first victory ever came on November 16th of 2018 in at Epic Fighting San Diego. That was the first time I won. So I was 0-1 walking into that cage, and I walked in 1-1 November 16th. Exactly a year later, I win another fight by knockout on November 16th at CFL at California Fight League. So that one was a 30-second knockout. Harvey contacted me. It was a 36-hour notice, like a day and a half notice. We had driven. My coach and I did a grappling X for the young warriors of the school that day. And as soon as the grappling X ended, we dropped everyone off at El Centro and drove 4 hours to Victorville. We get there. I didn't get to warm up. I just had enough time for Maestro Sunny to tape my hands. We didn't get to hit pads or nothing. We just got there. I slapped myself a couple times. I warmed up inside the ring while they were doing intros, and I knocked the girl out in 30 seconds. So that was November 16th, and James Beard was the ref at both of those fights. And so those have been like my more spectacular victories. And so I feel like Fearless kind of helped break that curse of like winning only in November. So this time I won in September, and so now it shows that I can win whenever I want.
That's fair, and that's a pretty cool thing to have in your kind of back pocket, right? To be able to win wherever you want, because that is a parable not just in fight but also in life, right? Just not having a particular set of circumstances work your way to kind of work your way into a situation that might not be in the best scenarios, and proving to yourself and nobody but yourself that you could win at all costs.
I mean, that's what you do when you love to fight. Well, when you love anything, you'll bleed for it. When you love anything, you'll put it all on the table. If you love knitting, man, you're gonna do whatever you can to get those freaking crochet needles, dude.
Yeah.
But James Beard has to be the ref, okay? Next time I fight in California, James Beard has to be the ref.
There you go. And Dave Dankin is being the guy to make that happen. So 100%. Now, Dave says Libbys Great, and the whole Camo organization is proud of how you, Libby, stepped up and created this brand, and that, I mean, that, speaking from Dave Dankin, right? We were joking earlier, but I mean, Dave Dankin and his sister Jackie and their dad, Marty.
Legend.
I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, I don't think if there would be any type of combat sports, or it would have blossomed to what we have now in 2010, if not for Marty Dankin. So, I mean, if you're getting kind of praise from Dave Dankin, his Marty Dankin's son, that's pretty cool, right, Libby?
Yeah, he's always guided me, like I was at a promotion, and none of the ring girls showed up. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, I get to like enjoy the show finally and not work a show. And he was like, how come you're not dressed? And I'm like, I'm here to enjoy the show. And he was like, oh, you need to get dressed. And I'm like, he goes, go help out. So then none of the ring girls showed up, and then he goes, she used to be a ring girl. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm just here to support, my friend to do his pro debut. And he just told me, he goes, don't ever, don't ever turn down an opportunity to help somebody in the same field as you. And I was just like, he had no ring girl showed up. So the only ring girl that showed up was like late, and she became, and then they found one of the fighters like friends that was like really hot too, and then they just like put us all in the in the outfit, and it's kind of I learned something from CFFC is that like they were really impressed that I just was like, okay, whatever, just I'll help out, I'll do whatever. And there's I still keep in contact with the owner, and he's in the future I want to work with them, and so opportunities, like I'm not just little Libby like people think. I love helping people, and I'm not that type of person that is kind of like jealous if you have a promotion. If you're struggling, you need something, let me know what you need. I'm not that type of person that's just like, well, I'm a promoter and that's just too low for me. I'm like, no, if you need me to walk around in shorts for you because you don't have anybody, let's do it. And I mean, I expect the same thing, like Jason has always helped me too, vice versa. And so, those are the people that I really, admire, just because there's a lot of people that don't like Fearless Woman because of what I'm doing, but whatever.
Yeah, you can't really listen to all of that. And I mean, was that CFFC out in where I saw you at?
Yeah, it was that. Yes.
Coachella.
Yeah, Coachella.
Wow. So
yeah,
I'm glad that you got there before me, because if I had gotten there before you, I probably would have gotten asked, knowing Dave Dankin, and I probably would have gotten KO'd way sooner than CM Punk, who was on commentary that night. So
yes, he was.
Yeah. So thank you for saving the good people of Coachella, not the festival, but the town of seeing me in my skivvies. Nobody wants to see that, not myself included. So there's that. So thank you, Libby.
But Adam, you are dat bitch.
Yes, you
there we
are.
go. Dad bod bit. No, never mind. That didn't really work. It's out of demeaning. I'm not gonna try that again. See, that's why I don't watch the TikToks and all that. Anyway, I showed my age. Good Lord. Now, Diana made him scared after that KO of Mariah Miller, which I got to talk about, because I mean, Mariah Miller, at the time that you guys fought Diana, she too was in the same scenario that you were in, and literally people were running scared, and I don't want to say ducking, but like it was definitely hard for you two to get a fight at the time that your fight happened.
They were ducking.
Okay, all right, Joss. So, I mean, what does that mean to you? I mean, you've got Dave Dankin, and then Harvey saying that you were actually supposed to fight on the Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz 3 Golden Boy card, which so you've got one of the top matchmakers in all of California in Harvey, and I mean, again, in David Dankin, one of the lineages that is so closely tied, more so than any other family in California State Athletic Commission or California combat sports community, and they're heaping praise on you, Diana. What does that mean to you?
No, I wanted to say it earlier. Shout out to David Dankin. He was there at the beginning of like when I started my first fight and everything, and I just hi to him. Harvey, and just like that opportunity that I had with the Golden Boy, I was super crushed. Like when I wasn't able to fight, because that was when I was going through some health problems and stuff, and then like after that fight, I think it was with. Oh God, I have the worst memory, but I think I had a fight, and then I had that opportunity with Golden Boy, and I wasn't able to do it because my body was just completely shot out. And I told Adam, I called him, I'm like, hey, after this fight, I need to go to the doctors and check what's up with my body right now, because something's. Oh, it was I won the decision. I won by decision. Yeah, that's what it was, and so then I told Adam told me, he's like, you want to pull out of this fight, you can, but I said I didn't want to pull out. I want to continue. But then, that was my last fight. It was in November. I think it was freaking 2018 in November. But no, like it was just one of those things where like it just wasn't at that time. It wasn't. I guess it just wasn't my time, you know, to like to fight for that kind of big show or whatever it was. But I'm here now, and no, like you guys, I really appreciate all the praises and all that. You know, I'm putting the work in, you know, and I'm trying to earn my spot here, you know, and just trying to lead by example for the most part, and back up my actions, and yeah, no, thank you, David, Dankin, Harvey, you, Adam, dude, I've freaking known you for a long time, dude. Thank you, and like I see you at the shows, and you know all the guys, you know me too, and Libby, and just all you guys. I really appreciate it. But yeah, you know, it's been a great journey, and I am grateful every day. I really am. You know, I'm trying to really take care of myself this time around so I can stay here for the long run, and see where it goes. You know, take it day by day, and yeah.
I mean, and now more so than ever, you know, and talking about making the most of opportunities, right? I mean, I was absolutely right. Dave Dankin said if I had showed up before Libby at that CFFC card, I would be in that two piece. So there you go. Just in case you needed confirmation.
That badge.
Yes. Right. I mean, yeah, no, but in all honesty, you know what you guys have done I mean, the fact that Fearless Six happened on an international stage at a time where literally the world is going crazy. The world is going absolutely nuts, right? People fighting, people getting sick, people not getting sick, all of this stuff, people losing their businesses. I think for you guys to kind of come out and compete, you know, Jaws and Debo, along with a litany of other title fighters and contenders, won belts on that night. And Libby, you got a belt of your own in the sense that you put on a successful show for the viewing audience, and that had to be pretty cool. So, in terms of what you learned from this experience, what did each of you learn from Fearless Six?
Who wants to go first? Who?
Jaws.
Jaws,
Jaws, go for it.
It's because Jaws likes to talk.
It's fine.
But Jaws truly loves to listen. No, I'll go first. Let me get the ball rolling. What I learned from Fearless Six as a show. Oh my God. Actually, let me share an anecdote and see if.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know who wrapped our hands if we didn't have our own coaches wrap our hands? You're not going to believe it. Some of the fighters themselves who were coming out of Tactical Fight Academy, some of these girls fought in the exhibition, so their fights weren't showcased on the their fights weren't filmed. They weren't streamed. So
yes,
so they were
pre-show.
just getting in there. Yeah, they were just getting in there to get some experience. But it was some of those girls that were wrapping hands and getting their hair done at the same time that they were wrapping some of our hands. So if this doesn't show you the level of badassery that inherently exists within the female species of humans, then you're just never going to understand. Then you're just never going to get it, and good luck to you, because women are just inherently badass. We just do what we have to do to get something done to reach like this high goal at this, whether it's for others and or for ourselves. So these girls are getting ready for fights themselves, wrapping our hands, getting their braids done too, and it was just amazing. So that's something that I learned from Fearless Six, not in the sense that I didn't already know this about women or being a woman, but just to see to the level with which that belief and conviction of mine was confirmed. You just don't see things like this in the athletic community, period. I mean, athletes by nature, yeah, we're, you know, we become a tribe, we're family, we're teams. There's so many team sports and stuff like that. But there's just so much competition within teams and contention and just like all these different examples of like lack of unity in competitive sports and combat sports. And I don't know what it is about male dominated sports that kind of lack this level of get it done mentality that I only see with women, and Fearless was like the epitome of that. So another thing I wanted to say, which isn't so much what I learned, but I think it's important to say, and we haven't touched on it, is the week of Fearless Woman MMA, there was the court hearing of the Breonna Taylor case, and I learned about the results through a friend. You know, I was in Mexico, so there was really no news for me there, and I was staying off the social media too. Without getting into specifics in politics, regardless of what you believe and what hashtag of lives matter you put in your social media, you can't deny that the United States is facing a deep crisis, a social justice crisis, a lack of understanding of the fact that we're all just one human race, and that maybe we need to finally and once and for all step out of this belief that you have to pride yourself on your flag and the colors of your nation. Step out of that and see that the world is one country and mankind are the citizens of that country. All right, the earth is one country and mankind are its citizens. And anytime that I get my hand raised in that ring, anytime that you put a microphone or a camera in front of me, I'm going to make sure to remind you guys of that there's only one race, the human race, and viva la raza humana. And I said it then, and I've said it before, and I'll say it every time. Anytime you raise my hand, that's the message I want to get across. And it had to be mentioned.
I think it's perfect. No, absolutely. I think it's perfect. Oh God, I'm tearing up. No, Libby, you had something to say?
Well, you know what Joselin has, you know, demonstrated even in the cage, during our national anthem, just showing the respects, you know, and showing how, you know, lives matter, and we're all one race, you know, all over the world, women are protesting, you know, like during Mexico City, they were protesting also. It's just because, you know, men are just killing women and their girlfriends, wives, and they're not getting, you know, like in trouble or anything, you know, they're not getting like, justice is not like, you know, given to them and, or to the families and, of the victims. And I mean, I don't know if you ladies saw, there was just so much protest and, you know, like, what Joselin was saying, like, you know, women, if we unite, you know, we're an unstoppable force regardless, you know, and it's just not just about fights, it's about, you know, like giving someone an opportunity. You know, there's like amateur photographers that we had because they were just like, I can't get a job because I don't have experience. Okay, well, here's a camera, go get it. But I mean, I was very proud of her, of Joselin, for stepping up and, like, you know, saying that, you know, we also are fighting for justice in America as we are in Mexico and Turkey and, you know, and like all over the world, you know, Africa, you know, it's because it's like it has to stop, you know, everything has to stop, and we, you know, I mean, it's a long subject, but like I said, I don't want to get into politics, but, you know, that was what's going on. And I'm very proud that she did that, just to show, like, you know, like we're all in this together, regardless. If it's COVID, it's us raising up and saying, like, having one voice. So.
And I just want to clarify too, like, absent politics, it wasn't meant to be a political thing. It was definitely meant to be just like a human race thing. But I do love my country, and I get to do what I do, which is MMA and some other community service and some other things that I'm into. I get to do it because I have the privilege of doing that in this country. Like, I have the freedom of practicing my religion and speaking the way I do because of where I was born and where I was raised. So I do see my act as a patriotic act. I'm letting people know outside of the US that I love my country and I expect better, because my dad is a veteran, because so my dad as a veteran clarified, like, I stand with what you did as a veteran and as a Black man who has also been persecuted. So I just wanted to clarify that too. Like, I did this because I love my country and I love my race, which is the human race. So it's not meant to be an anti-America thing, quite the opposite. And Mexico's having conversations on race and feminicide right now. And so it's good to see that these conversations are being brought up. That's why we do this, to get people to talk. We got to be fearless. We got to be fearless when we talk about these things. It's fear that keeps us from understanding each other.
Yeah, 100%. And Diana, to add to that.
Yeah, no, just kind of piggybacking on what you ladies said, like the whole the experience that I had with Fearless, like, at the end of the day, like, win or lose, like, I think what this whole pandemic has taught me, like, I wanted to go in there with a positive attitude, positive, like, just have a good time, didn't matter, like, I wanted to, and and you attract that, you'll attract those energies. You come in there, you see somebody smiling with a positive attitude, you want to be around that, and that's what I tried really hard to do, and sometimes it's not easy, man, like, it's but and with that, the difference, I saw a lot of women communicating and Fearless, and even though we were competing against each other, like, I was talking to my opponent, and like, I get it, we're about to fight, and like, I get some people don't want to talk before the fight or even after the fight or whatever it is, but we were communicating, we were just having fun, and like, we got in there, we did our business, and we walked out, and we smiled, we shook hands, talked about each other's backgrounds, and we just vibed. And then same thing with Jaws, dude, she had that energy, and I just vibed with that. I was attracted to that, and that's really all I'm trying, like, really want to be around, especially after this, like I said, the pandemic, man. It's like dude, you never know, man, like, life's too freaking short, it really is. And you just want to, I really am trying to put my ego and pride aside and put all those negative energies out. Like, I'm just done with that, and with competing with women, and I get it, it gets really competitive, we get catty, and but now it's like life really is too short, man. Like, I really just want to vibe and have fun and go wherever we're meant to be, and like but yeah, that's all I got for that one.
No, I love it. And I all both eloquently kind of stated. I mean, some serious issues, but again, it's things that we do need to talk about. And I think during all this time is, and it's kind of manifested itself in various ways over the years, right? It's not just like one thing, it's an accumulation. But like, we can love each other and disagree. That's cool. Like, don't be like, you feel that way, you feel it that way, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, it's cool. Like, hey, let's grab a beer. You like tacos? I like tacos. Let's fucking go. Like, it's really that simple. Like, I don't know. Like, but I'm also a dude, and I can't think too far ahead. But yeah, well, no, but we went into some of the serious aspects of Fearless, right? And what you each individually and collectively went through getting there, and then also you're coming away with a win. I mean, in my mind's eye, you guys are all women, all winners coming out of Fearless 6. So with that all being said, let's get some fun stuff, right? Like, what was the best part of the experience for each of you?
Where are we? Meeting freaking Devo, dude, and eating fat food with her afterward. So much, man. So much.
Yeah, that was so fun, dude. Like, we were vibing with the cook and everybody. We're letting them know, like, hey, this just happened. They're like, no way, what? Like that. And I was my Spanish is just really not good. So I was probably saying some things that were like like I don't understand you, but just keep talking. You know, they're like just shaking their head. All right, all right. But Josh is really good with her Spanish, so she was able to like really communicate with them. Like, and we were just all having a good time.
Bro.
Yeah, dude. Like we were all just joking and like it was just like if I knew these people for years, you know, and like we just met each other. That's the thing though. We just met each other and like we're just fucking like it's tight. It's a good time, you know.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we taught the fry cook to say in English? What did we
I don't know.
say?
I forgot. What did we teach him?
It was something like I'm a badass or something like that. I forgot.
It was a bad word, I think. It was something worth, yeah. It was some.
But it was supposed to be like empowering, though.
Yeah.
But it was like I'm a fucking badass or something like that. He was like, I fucking badass.
That's funny. Next time we all have to go and eat some tacos.
Word, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny that Dave Dankin's saying Mexican street tacos because
it was restaurant tacos.
Oh, see? Why are you assuming that it's street tacos, Dave Dankin?
Street tacos are only in LA. I'm kidding.
In Tijuana is the king of street tacos.
So let me tell you about Dave Dankin and street tacos. So one night after, it was the Coliseum Gladiator event. The same Coliseum Gladiator event that you guys might have heard of, but there was a particular fighter that was having trouble with weight cutting, right? And he was on one end of the LA Coliseum, right? And he heard his name being called by one Dave Dankin. Yes. So he was cutting weight and whatever, and he was like, I gotta weigh in. He has like trash bags on, like 2 pairs of clothes. He starts shedding clothes, like, and running to Dave Dankin, right? And by the time he gets to Dave Dankin, he is fully in the nude. Wow. At the LA Coliseum. And he just paintbrushes Dave Dankin like that. I happened to look over and I was like, this is the fucking greatest moment of my life. Probably not for you, Dave Dankin, but for me. So with that all being said, after that particular fight, I think I did a special edition episode of Driving with the Dankins. It was only one episode, but it was me in the backseat with Jackie and Dave, and they were bickering like, yeah, it was so good. And then we went to this bar in Hollywood, and the only thing that you could eat was street tacos. Dave Dankin, as manly as he is, was scared as shit that he was going to get botulism from street tacos. And it was good shit. It was good shit. But that's and Harvey's like, oh my God, yeah, I did. Sorry, Dave. And he's saying that's not true, but I mean it's Sunday. We're not gonna lie on a Sunday, right? If 2 and 1 are in accord, right? That's me and Harvey. We're 2 and 1 accord, so it must be true. And he heard that his mouth was open. I'm just saying. So there's that. There you go. You guys are toast. And funny enough, I'm the only kind of personality or whatever that was actually raised through camo. So he'll probably Was
he like mid-sentence, like, get to the scale? Oh!
Yeah, literally, like the what was it like? There's something about It's Something About Mary, but whatever Ben Stiller movie that the big rotund guy just kind of whatever. But let's go south in terms of the anatomy, and that's essentially what Peyton Hirsch, Dave Dankin, same scenario, just lowered. So there's that.
David, I wasn't laughing about you, man. I was laughing at the fact that Adam is toast, okay? We weren't laughing at you getting brushed. We're laughing at Adam being toast. That's what's funny here.
See, and that Knucklehead Jim, and they're banned forever from camo. So
wow.
You might go through the the knucklehead gym, and you can make your assessments there on who that particular fighter was. But and guess what? He said it wasn't true, but he said that they're all banned. So ha.
Oh my god.
So there you go. Um, no, so I mean that's definitely cool. Before I let you guys go, I have to talk about the titles, right? Because I am kind of a belt collector. I have the personal ideology, right? Especially when it comes to combat sports. If you're fighting for a championship title, right? The crown jewel of a particular promotion, right? You can't have bullshit ass title designs, right? You have to have something that was worthy of a fight to happen. Something that when the champion goes away and the fight is over and goes home and displays on their respective mantles, and they have people over and people are going like, hey, what's that? And like, that's my championship belt. And they go into the story, right? So one of the most fantastic design belts, I think, and I'm not just saying because you guys are here, but you two, Jaws and Debo, are recipients of it. But Libby, you created the Fearless Championship belt. I love the fact that it was sleek and black, and it was all types of awesome. How did the title design come about?
Let me grab it.
Well,
Ah, there you go.
well, I wish it was like heavier, like camel, So it's like in pictures it looked, it looked heavier, but I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. We just like black, Black is like our favorite color. It's just, I don't know.
Black on
I
black
didn't
on
want to
black.
go with, yeah, black on black. I may change it for California, like black and gold. But it's kind of something that everybody does. I don't know. But I just want something more heavier this time. So um, whoever fights for the belt is going to be a different belt, just like heavier. I just want something heavy.
I
Sorry,
mean,
it's just in my mind. I come up with these weird like images, when I'm like either sleeping or just driving. And I'm just like, oh, let me draw this, and just kind of like how like the new rebranding of the logo, and just like different designs for clothing that I will be coming out with. It's just something that it just happens naturally. I don't plan. I don't try to copy anyone. It's just like what I like, and and I mean, I don't know. Next time it will probably just be all pink. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked I liked how it was like small and petite because sometimes the belts are like just freaking
Big.
ginormous, and it's heavy and it's just like you can't So it was
Yeah.
nice. It was yeah. You could
It
fit it
was
around your.
tailored to women's bodies.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
it had to be. It was
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, you know how I mean, I'm just a weirdo. I just need to be like embracing it. But next time it'll be much heavier because I just want something heavy. I don't know. Just that type of weirdo. Like
no, but I mean, weirdos today could be visionaries tomorrow. So there's that.
yeah.
But I just love that it didn't look like anything else there. It wasn't just a title, title boxing belt with a sticker stamped on it. Like the fact that I hadn't seen it before Fearless Six, I hadn't seen that design. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, again, and as you're saying, I mean, if you weren't there at Fearless Six and in a championship match and come away with that piece of hardware, then you probably might never see that again. Which is, again,
Yeah.
there's some exclusivity in that, and again, I think it's absolutely cool.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, they just come to me. But yeah, the next one's gonna be better. Sorry, guys. I like changing
What are
belts
you
and
It
changing
apologizing
was
for?
everything.
cool. I liked
We
it.
kept
I liked
telling you
it.
that we love the belt. Like,
Yeah.
I did too.
thank you, Libby.
Oh, you're welcome. But you know how I am. Next time there's gonna be a skull. So
Hell yeah.
There you go. Right on. We like shit heavy here, man. But before and Stephen Tatum says the belt looks good to remind me of the journey, and heavy for the right person, right? But I mean, obviously, we've seen it. Ill-fitting championship belts that aren't made for the particular weight divisions, and it just looks like the belt is bigger than the actual person that holds it, and that's not a good kind of representation to have. I don't think. And then I mean, I've also seen there's like some cast iron. What is it, title belts that are literally like 20 pounds a piece, and to have that slung out over your shoulder, and you're 115-pound, sometimes even male, and a female, that's like literally like what, 35% of your body weight, and you got to walk, from the cage to the dressing room with it. Like, holy shit, what are we doing here?
Then it really feels like a little human. Then I could really say traveling with Bay. I got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Adam, you're gonna help me design the next one.
I am in. I am totally in. That is something I'm absolutely in for. So I appreciate the honor and privilege. And I mean, what this will do to kind of shape the next kind of echelon of women's MMA as we know it, not just here in California, but the world over. And I mean, Debo and Jaws, this is something that when you see this, right, and obviously Jaws, you're training with Tina Pettigrew, and Diana, you see the championships that Erin Tuffield has won in her illustrious career, and these are things when you guys are a lot further in your careers and look back at Fearless Six and go, damn it, I was a part of that, and look at where I am now. And you as a promoter, Libby, this is something that you're like, I help usher in the next wave of fearless women into the MMA lithosphere, and that is fucking cool.
Can I say something? I know like we're going like a little bit further, but I really want people to know that Erin is the only coach, the only female coach in that whole entire like card. And so she did such an amazing job. I personally believe she did a better job than any of the male coaches, and that's something that her caliber is so precise. When I was hearing her like just tell Diana, keep your hands up, you gotta throw, it's like it was helping her, remind her to just like keep your hands up, because sometimes you just let them down. And she was just on point. I was so impressed how well of a fighter and coach she is. And that's, most people don't even know that she was the only woman. She will beat any guy's ass there. She was just the bomb.
Yeah, dude. Coach Juan is a beast, and he respects the hell out of Erin, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of great coaches, Coach Juan, and she's vegan.
Yeah, she's vegan. It was a great time, like just spending time with like Erin Tohill, like it was so much fun, dude. She is just hilarious. Like, we can go on talking for freaking hours, dude, just talking about everything and anything. And it's just Comedy Central. It was funny, like in the Airbnb, she kept losing her stuff. She's like, what the fuck? And then she'd go in the other corner. She's like, oh shit. And it was just like straight up like a cuss word after every sentence, but that's just her. And that's why I love it. She's so freaking real, and I think that's why it just makes me laugh so much. And she makes everyone laugh. She's just such a good example, for all women to really, that's why I really wanted to be around her, and just freaking honor to be like, I was trying to push it. I'm like, dude, you got to come with me to the show. Like, this is an all women show. Like, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, let's do this, and she was freaking down for it. And and going out to Mexico, like that's just like another thing, like
during a pandemic.
Yeah, during a pandemic, but yeah, it's cool.
Hey, shout out to all of Mexico and their excellent handling of sanitation standards. There's sanitation mats on the floor. In the airplane, everyone had to have their mask on. I traveled in the US a month or so before this fight. People could have their mask down if they felt like it. Nobody's taking temperatures. I didn't see hand sanitizer stuff everywhere. We had to have our own. And, not everyone wants to do that. And like before the pandemic, even we know that like airports are like cesspools for bacteria and viruses, and Mexico's got it on lock, you guys. Mexico is safe to travel in during a pandemic. Like they've got it all handled for you.
They don't play games, man. You
They
will
don't.
die. They will beat you to death if you're not wearing a mask. They're just
Yeah.
that's how they are.
They'll just nag you.
Yeah.
Señorita, la máscara, por favor.
Yeah. No, I mean it's crazy that you said that, because right off air, my wife just showed me that her cousin actually just came down with COVID. So I mean,
Wow.
not to put a damper on this fun time, but I mean this just shows like the seriousness of the times that we're had. And again, the fact that you three are back on the other side of the border, safe and sound, training again, just shows the level of professionalism and just care and candor that the good people of Mexico have.
Oh yeah, dude. And Fearless did COVID tests on us, and some of us did COVID tests coming back to the States too, and everyone was clear. So just to further confirm what you're saying, Adam.
Yeah, so the stuff that we did in Mexico, which the Mexican government allows, I'm trying to petition that for California so we could all open and just at least have no crowds, and they could live stream and do whatever. But that's what I've been trying to do, my little paper. Sorry, David, I haven't finished it, so I haven't presented it to you and JT. So, but I'm going back into the scientist, Libby, and just trying to open up California because it needs to be open, man. It's ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, if particular governors have their private wineries open throughout the same, but that's another story for another day. But
Yeah.
This is a cool kind of scenario, because showing that you all are champions, David Dankin says you guys have camo straps waiting for you the next time David Dankin sees you. So you two, Diana and Jaws, will have something of this ilk. I mean, I know the design is a little bit different than this now, but some of these will be coming your way. So that's cool.
Been ready. Champ shit only.
Champ shit
only.
Only.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Dave Dankin says Aaron is the female Joe Stevenson, and
No, Joe Stevenson is the male Aaron.
There we go. Who am I to disagree?
We call her Daddy too.
And I'm sure she'd love that.
Her Instagram's down right now, which really sucks because her posts were great. But
they were, bro. I screenshotted a few things. She's great.
Yeah.
There you go. But I mean, obviously, coming out of Fearless, there's a litany of people that have helped you guys along the way through your journey, not just in the road to Fearless 6, but also in your lives and careers thus far. So, Diana, we're starting with you. Let's get some shout outs and acknowledgments out of the way.
Okay, so my coaches, Coach Adam Lynn, Aaron Tohill, and Raw Talent, Chuy Gutierrez has been really helpful too. And my sponsor, OC Crowd Care, Dino, and then Conca, and that's it. And my teammates, all my fighter teammates, Jeff and all those guys, Freelove, Andrew Freelove, and let's see who else. Moses, Marietta, and Justin Governell. And that's all I can think of right now. But yeah, thank you. And you guys. Yeah.
They know who they are, right?
Josh, exactly.
Yeah, Josh, your turn.
Yeah, first and foremost, mom and dad. Dad watching all the way from Canada, from Manitoba right now. Dad and Karen, love you guys. My mom, who helped me get to Cancun and Mexico City. And my brother Eugene, which is why I thought my dad was my brother on the feed. My brother Eugene, who was actually my first sponsor ever, he helped pay for my camo license when I first got into competing. And Coach Roger Contreras, who worked a 10-day striking camp for me in preparation for this fight. And he was my first MMA coach, and he's actually the one that got me into competing. So he saw it in me before I saw it in myself. Team Ray Dog for life. Maestro Sunny Rubio, who spent a year and a half working my grappling. So all the grappling stuff that you saw in the fight, including the face sitting, I know it's unorthodox, but that's how you control a breeze. Thanks to Maestro Sunny for all the Filipino martial arts in Dumog. And lastly, everyone at Bonita Martial Arts Academy, especially Coach Juan, who reminded me that I'm a fucking wrestler. So why the fuck have I not been wrestling? So thank you for the last minute game plan change, Coach Juan, because you brought the jaws out finally. And, you know, fed me some good food, made me some smoothies, and had me stay in a dope Airbnb. And no, wait, not just Coach Juan, Janetti Delgado and her husband, Rodrigo Rafael, and everyone in Cancun at our BJJ, because they, you know, my last fight week of training was with them in Cancun. I slept in their house, broke bread with them, stayed up at night, cut weight, tried to get some Z's. All of life was spent with Rodrigo and Janetti. So Dios los bendiga por todo el amor que me dieron. And thanks to Libby and Fearless MMA, because it's through Fearless that I met Janetti and Rodrigo, and we became friends. And almost a year later, got to train together to fight for a strap. And Janetti, you didn't get the belt this time, girl, but show up in full force next time, and the world is yours, ma.
There's California gold waiting for her.
Ooh.
Esperando el oro, Janetti. Cáele. And Rodrigo too, man. Rodrigo's a beast, man. That dude does one-handed pull-ups as warm-ups, man.
Damn,
But Joselin,
that's incredible.
The ground is your ocean.
The ground is my ocean. That's Nuwaza talk right there. That's a Nuwaza language.
So you own that damn ground. So
yeah, and Juan Ramos.
Hey, Coach Juan Ramos!
Yeah.
Love you, man. And his boys, his son, Juan and Jojo were my training partners in preparation for the fight, man. I was practicing my entries with 14 and 10-year-olds.
Good. That's the best. The youth is always the best to practice with.
The Ramos family, man. The Ramos family came through last minute. I was going to come to Mexico City by myself with no corner, and Coach Ramos came through. God bless.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And last, but very not least, the person who has brought us all together, Libby. Some shout outs and acknowledgments from you, my dear.
Shout out to Jesus first. You know, he's the one that, you know, I've been running away from MMA all my life. And so it's just because, you know, my upbringing, fighting's not womanly or whatever. But, you know, eventually he stopped me. He made a well swallow me, and it's called Fearless. And we just been going there. Profe Raul Rendon, Alan Perez, you know, the ones that, you know, tell me, you know, you're a badass bitch, you know, just do it, fuck it, you know, from David Dankin to even you, Adam, to everyone, you know, from the owner of CFFC, you know, Corey, and to like Jason, Harvey, everybody that has just supported us, and to all of the peleadoras de México y los coaches, los entrenadores, gracias por todo el apoyo. México, ustedes hicieron esta liga, y esta es la liga de las mujeres y de las peleadoras, y quiero ayudarles a todas que vengan a América y que se hagan la next Alexa Grasso. Quiero enseñar todo el mundo que ustedes son las guerreras, y como
las chingonas
en boxing, las chingonas. Sí, and you know, and everybody that continues to support Fearless, you know, our champions, you know, you guys are the ones that continue to support this league and make this league. It's not just me, but yeah, I mean, that's who I want to give out shout out to, everyone that has been behind my back. Jeff Myers, thank you for, you know, like, you know, support, you know, Robbie LeBlanc. You guys have no idea. You guys are just all amazing. And like Mark Smith, and Mike Beltran, gracias por todo. Mike Beltran would always be like, I don't train any pendejas, you know. So he goes, so he's just he's like a big brother, you know. And so you know, everyone, thank you everyone, you know, from my Camel family. You guys are the bomb.
Can we all give a collective thank you to, in particular, Adam Woods and then Harvey Castellano? Because I think
gracias,
Harvey, Libby, and Adam and Dave Dankin are some of the most under-celebrated people. Like, we don't talk about them enough. We don't throw parties for y'all, and you guys are always at it, man. You guys are the unsung heroes of the MMA world. Amateur, pro, you guys are there. And I tell y'all one-on-one, but I don't know, do we do like 1, 2, 3, thank you? Like, we got to do something right now, man.
Just be like,
you're like 1, 2, 3, we love you. Like, I don't know, man.
There you go. I think that's good. I mean, I'm gonna Mario Yamasaki. How about that?
Yeah. All of you Mario guys, Yamasaki.
Yeah. It one time. You're like 3, 2, 1. Y'all are the shit.
There you go. Yes, and then obviously, David said he's getting us work on in the native reservations. Adam, you can still come. Despite telling that naked Mowgli story, to which I say, David Dankin, what naked Mowgli story? Do you guys remember a story? I fucking don't.
No, I don't remember anything.
All I remember is that you're supposed to get it. I just can't remember over what.
There you go. I mean, I don't know. I mean, David Dankin saying I'm supposed to get it and talking about spouting rainbows. It's all good, man. It's all good. But last but very not least, where can everyone find you, Fair Maidens, on social media?
Social media. Instagram. It's DMoneyX MMA, and then that's it.
There you go.
Instagram as well, Jaws_Pantera Negra, and that was kind of like an inside-outside joke. There's Black Panther in Spanish because I'm Blaxican. Jaws_Pantera Negra.
And she did it before Black Panther.
Yeah, man, I've been doing it since before Black Panther.
Yeah. With me, it's at Libby Cinnamon on Instagram. Also Facebook, Libby Canela. Just hit me up if you're looking for a fight. So. And Adam, where could people find you?
This is actually what Stephen is saying. So he's saying, don't forget to tell everyone to subscribe to According to What. So you know what? How about this? On the count of 3, can everyone go subscribe to According to What? Is that cool?
Yes.
All right. So 1, 2, 3.
Subscribe to According to Woods.
According to Woods.
That was good enough.